Hey there, thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome to my channel, Connectors Punctors. My name is Dodds. I'm a self taught oil painter from South Africa. Today, we're going to be doing an oil underpainting study using oil paint, of course. Please feel free to subscribe, like, and share the video to anyone who you know is interested in oil painting as well. And please, let's connect with others. Nah? Don't mind me spinning around. I'm a bit camera shy, but I've been trying to get onto YouTube to actually film long form content. So if you have any questions or if you just want to say something, please shoot it down in the comments and I'll get back to you. Now, without any further ado, let's get down to the video. So this is the reference we're going to use, and this is the drawing transferred onto the canvas, as you can see. And this is the colors that we're going to use. So we're going to use black or lamp black, and then dark cadmium orange, as well as titanium white. So this is going to be a limited palette, nah? And the reason why I want it to be a limited palette is because I want to add colors later. So as of now, I don't want to be overwhelmed by the colors that I'm gonna include here. And this is more of how the color mixing and how I mixed everything. And I'm going to be using those colors here on this underpainting. So without any further ado, okay, so let's get down to it. So usually what I like to do is to start by blocking in the darks. So that's what we're going to start with, just to cover those dark areas, and then we'll slowly move on to the lit areas. Yeah. And I don't know who, if I remember well, I think the person who used also the similar kind of limited color palette was Caravaggio. He also used to paint with a limited color palette, but then he just started his underpaintings, like made them just black and white. With me, as you can see, I started with a bit of some brown because I really wanted the brown to come and shine through once I've already started painting. Né? And then what I'm just doing now is just blocking in the dark where I feel like it should be dark. And as you can see, I'm just going a bit all over the place because I'm just trying to cover as much as possible so that I can move on to the next step. Now you can look at it, the paint here, it's a bit transparent, it's not opaque, so it's not too thick. So make sure when you're painting, you take note of that. Make sure that it's dark where you actually want it to be dark, and it's a bit transparent where you want it to be a bit transparent, so that it doesn't mess up with the whole painting later as you come to focus on the details, right? So many people actually asked me, like, when did I actually start painting? With oil painting, I started in 2023, late 2023, and I was just starting off then. But I've been painting with acrylics for a bit of a long time now. I think since 2017, yes. And then before then, I was using watercolors because I was still in school back then. And as of now, what I do is I'm trying to improve on my oil painting techniques So here you'll see me just trying to block as much in as possible. And also, while we're doing this, we're also trying to give the painting its shape while still in the early stages. So please don't stress on the details. As of now, still far from detailing. What we're doing now is just to mark where our ducks are. Just need some more darkness. Yeah, as I was saying, I've been meaning to get onto YouTube for a while. I think it's been about 2 years now trying to get onto YouTube. I think the first time I tried, I was just yeah, I was very anxious, very camera shy. Did not even I think I was also a bit less confident in my skill, so I really did not want to get onto this app where millions of people could potentially see your video and then they'll be telling you about the technique that you're using and stuff. So at least now I've built a bit of some confidence over the years, yes. But I think with social media it's a bit difficult to really know whether you're doing some progress or not, especially if you don't have a huge following and stuff like that, so you don't really know, or you don't have that feedback from people telling you that you know what, actually your drawings are that good or your paintings are very good. So if that's something you're also facing as of now, just keep keep your head down and just keep painting. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna tell you. Just keep your head down, keep painting. You see, you start improving bit by bit, and then you'll start seeing big improvements. Time goes on. Obviously, with social media, now you having to be a content creator, having to film yourself, that can be a bit difficult, eh? But trust me, it's definitely worth it once you get there, because then it's sort of like documenting your life. I like to view social media as like my diary entry. Every day when I get onto this app, I look at what I'm doing. So I'm sure even like 20 years, 30 years from now, I'm gonna look back and say, oh, you know what? Look at that painting I used to do then, like, and probably by then I'll have like a multitude of paintings laying around. Yes, it's not delusion. It's just something that I know that I'll probably have a lot of paintings by then. Looking at the paintings I already have now in my room. So with this painting, if you can see, if you saw the reference, I did add a bit of these holes. It's gonna be a bit religious, because yeah, I'm also a bit of a religious person, so sort of like a bit religious, if in case you're wondering. And then if you're case you're wondering the meaning behind this painting, um I actually when I was busy doing the drawing, I was thinking of maybe naming this painting my shepherd. um like the Lord's prayer, the Lord is my shepherd. He guides me through still waters. So with this painting, I am sort of exploring that option that whatever you do in your life, whoever you are, make God your shepherd. God is your shepherd, and He's gonna lead you to peace. He's always gonna be with you, even if you get lost. Remember, I think it was Jesus in the Bible who was telling them about the prodigal son, the story about the prodigal son, where he was saying that if, let's say, a farmer lost one sheep, do you think that or a shepherd lost one sheep, do you think that he would leave the other sheep just to look for that one? And that was the point Jesus was trying to make, that he the shepherd will actually leave the other sheep to go and find that one lost sheep. And if he finds that lost sheep, when he finds the lost sheep, he's gonna rejoice, for the son has returned home, the prodigal son has returned home, well, in that story. And it really stuck to me, like, so that was kind of a bit of the story behind this painting, that it's sort of about the prodigal son. So I'm not sure what to name it as of now. Maybe my shepherd, or name it the prodigal son. But you guys will tell me. Please shoot it down in the comments. Let me know what I should name it once I'm done with it. And then, so as you can see, I've blocked majority the majority of the shadows. I'm just gonna focus a bit here. Yeah, it also needs. Not sure if you guys can see this, but I am sort of letting my pen loose and stay on my canvas, just like that. So if there's any painting or any story you guys also like from the Bible that you think maybe it could be nice if we had painted it, please shoot it down in the comments. I like reading Bible stories. I like to look at it as the history. Maybe it's like our human history, because it definitely is the eyewitnesses. So some of those stories are really fascinating from there, and some of them, when you put them down, like I've seen great artists like do like these brilliant religious based paintings, and the way I was like in awe almost every time I would see them, like, wow, that is so beautiful. I think it's a bit lighter, so I'm gonna just darken them. Then don't worry, guys, if you make a bit of some mistakes on the stage. There's no such thing as a painting mistake, it's just a happy mistake, no? Just like Bob Ross said. Oh, Laro. I'm not sure if you guys can hear the music in the background, but I do have music playing a bit in the background. Let me know if you can hear it, but it's like playing Ghana. Hakuna Matara. Oh man, does anyone also enjoy The Lion King? Did anyone watch the recent Lion King? And what did you think about it? I prefer the cartoon one, but it wasn't as bad. Like I've seen bad remakes of like old movies and old stories, but the Lion King, the Lion King live action wasn't as bad. Definitely got my attention as a beautiful movie. I love the story. I didn't really didn't expect Mufasa to be like that, to do Scar like that. I I think you shouldn't have lied. Like I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't tell you to lie. To make someone look good, because it ends up backfiring. So I didn't like that part, like about Mufasa, maybe in the story, maybe, but he did redeem himself. So I guess that was part of the story. So it was a nice story, Shem. It was a nice story, beautiful story, beautifully handled, I can say also. Okay. Yeah. So now these are just uh the dark spots in the fur, because I want to move now to using gray now. I'm done with marking all the dark dark spots, and then now we're moving on to the gray. Let me just wipe my brush. Okay, now let's move on to the gray. So with the gray, we gonna wanna start with like a bit of a darker gray, and sort of try to connect just like that. Mm, to blend together. Good. Make sure you get enough paint on your brush, so that you can put it nicely there. So yeah, this is just the highlight spot. So you wanna make sure that when you're doing this part, you can actually see, go a bit lighter there. So it's gonna look a bit off at the beginning. Let's see. If you get there, you'll see it starting to look a bit better. So let me know what you guys also prefer to also use. What kind of medium do you prefer, oil painting or acrylic? Because I started with watercolors, moved on to acrylics, then oil painting. So like the jumps, okay, from here to one to another, I can definitely say oil painting is the one that I've been trying to get to do for the longest time, and I've it's also the one I've been enjoying. I can say been enjoying kind of the most compared to the other ones, just because like it looks so realistic once you're done. So sort of, you know how they say art imitates life. Well, when you're doing oil painting, life can imitate art with how good and smooth you get that those consistencies. Mm, something that I'm been enjoying so much. And I'm in memes. Hmm. And it's a bit darker here. Also here it's a bit darker going down there. You can clearly see the knuckles there. Mm. So one thing I've also learned most about oil painting is that you need to just take your time. Next time, just don't rush anything. Just take your time, and you'll see improvement just shooting out, just shooting through, man. Promise you. Just take your time with this and do it. Be consistent. Sort of like most with almost everything you do, just the consistency. The more and more you paint, the better and better you actually get. And it's a bit lighter here. Let's blend that a bit. And also down it's a bit lighter. I think it's the reflected light. So you have to also think about lighting. Where is the light actually coming from? How is it gonna be influenced, or what's the influence of light gonna be actually on painting? Yeah? So it's sort of that thing, because if the light is off, the orientation of your painting is also gonna be a bit off, and you might not be happy with your end result. So just get your lighting right, and then you'll see the shadows will also go in place. Because let's say now you made this side lighter, it'll seem like the light is coming from this one, the light is coming from this direction. The light's hitting here, so it's gonna hit this and then jump to here, which is why this side has sort of this lighter shade. And then also put here. Let's get to here. So we should just mhm. So when you're connecting these, just I'm blending. My paint that my brush doesn't really have so much paint on it. So that's how I'm able to achieve those nice blending. And don't forget that there's a knuckle here. So you just gotta show and don't do too much, huh? Like one thing about painting, you just have to be subtle with the lines that you put. Because if you do put too much, it's gonna show in the end that there was too much put here, which wasn't supposed to. So yeah, darker. And just need to go lighter here. See, now it looks like a finger. hmm So remember what we said. The light must make sense. So I have to darken that a bit. Yes. hmm And then now let's move on to the next one. See how that looks. So let's go start a bit darker and then we'll build our shade up as we go now. So I find it's always better to start from light to dark and start from dark to light than from light to dark because the picture just turns out weirdly when you start from a light and then you go to the dark. Just cover it. Yeah, it's something that I also learned from the 2 years of oil painting that like the colors really shoot up nicely when you start from the darkest values and hues and go to the lighter. Okay, so now let's continue with our painting. So I did skip some parts. Sorry about that. So I just wanted to actually just push the painting more, make sure that I get the consistency that I want. So what I did here, I started with the grayish, darkish gray, and then I came with the lighter gray on top. So what I want to do now is to just continue pushing more of that light gray going up there. So you wanna actually make sure you in this underpainting process you're really focusing on your reference. So you can just look at our reference, you can see that it's a bit lighter here, means the light is coming from this side. So it's gonna be darker this side and it has to show, you know, so that it doesn't look weird in the end because it definitely will show if you don't include it now. Let me just get more paint onto my brush. Need to get also a bit lighter here. This one is going up here. And then it's gonna go. So what we're just doing now, we're just blocking in the colors, no? Don't worry too much about the details. What is light, what is too dark. I know I did tell you to focus on the lighting, but then don't lose track of or lose sight of the color blocking. Because right now we're just blocking in, right? We're really just blocking in the big shapes, the big colors, so that the paint we can actually see the underpainting, right? So at this stage, you're not really worried about your details or your detailing. Now you just wanna relax. Just a bit lighter. Mm-hmm. Good. And then let me take it a bit. Let's go to this side. Because yeah, this side is a bit darker. So yeah, the darkness to just show the depth that it goes back a bit. Hmm. You see how it gets lighter the up it goes. So yes, we don't want. Remember, this side is it's in the light, right? So it's not gonna be as dark the other side. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. And I hope you guys also have like your canvases and um, either iPads or even your sketchbooks out, and you are painting along with me. So I want us to do something together, not you just watching. I want you to also gain something from it. If you have any questions, please feel free to type it in the comments. I'll be getting to it. Stuff I'm done here. It's one of yesterday. Somebody better man yours. You guys had the. Do you guys hear the music in the background, or just let me know in the comments if you do hear the music in the background? But yeah, I'm currently playing the Kendrick songs, Kendrick Lamar. album, GNX. Okay, so it's coming along nicely. Just to make sure now we get to push the dark. We get a bit of some darkness. Okay. So this side is a bit darker, nah? So don't mind. And just let your paint down. Nice thing is that if you scoop a lot of paint into your brush, you can actually just keep going without drying up, right? Or drying out. And then gives you that bit of control so that every time you go back doesn't really feel like you're going piece by piece by piece by piece now. It seems like you're covering like a broader range. And then we get that depth again. So be careful here not to blend too much, no? Because if you blend too much, then you don't give the depth that the nose actually protruding forward. Mm, that needs to be darker. Yeah. Right. Sure, this. It's almost like a snout, no? But it's not a snout. Snout is like let's get a bit of some white there. hmm So just yeah, that's what I was talking about. So you see now it doesn't have a lot of paint in the brush. So when you try to put when you try to paint, it gives sort of like this breaking. So yeah, there are a bit of some lines. It's where the hair separates. Mm-hmm. Good. Then I can go with some grayish. So what we're doing, you can just notice I'm just blocking in the colors. Let's get some white. Remember this side is in the light, right? So mustn't be as dark as the other side. hmm Another thing, if you have like some challenges drawing fur, you're not the only one. But what you generally want to do is to try to make it loose, make your paint loose. Mhm. And then yeah, just like that, it gives the impression that there is a bit of fur. You see. So what you're doing is you go from one direction to the other. It's like that, like this. But it gives that impression. Look at once you're done, and then you can choose to go. Either you wanna go darker, go a bit darker, yeah? A bit darker. Mhm. Mhm. So if you look at this painting, I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'm trying to like make there's like personality to this lamb, right? Like it seems like the lamp is not just facing forward, but there's a bit of like a smirk here and a bit of some facial expression with the head tilted a bit to the side. You see that? So you wanna capture those small expressions to make it's gonna give you that nice likeness where you when you finish painting you look at it again and you just like, oh, it looks better than the picture. Exactly, because you gave it a bit of personality. Don't just be a photocopier. Try to put some emotion into the painting. Because I feel like if you're just gonna regurgitate what you see, then I feel like a printer can do a better job at that. A photocopier can do better at that than we can. So try to capture the emotion when you're painting. Not when you're just starting, it's a bit difficult, especially if you're a beginner. And people will be telling you, man, like your paintings look flat. And as a beginner, you'll feel like it's a personal attack. And no, it's not a personal attack. It's true. If your paintings look flat, they look flat. You need because either the shadows are not making sense, or the light is just off, or it's the emotion. There is no emotion in your piece. It's just the raw, blunt regurgitation that you see. So you see, this is how far we've gotten. Let me go a bit lighter. Yeah. I'm gonna get darker. hmm It's like that, and then do something like that. But giving it a bit of some of that pizzazz, some of that personality that it has. Mhm. Don't want to overdo that, just a bit. And then I want to do this. Mhm. So I know now they just kind of look black, flat, dark. Okay, let's put some white there. So just make sure when you're mixing your colors, you get the consistency that you need, right? Because if you don't, then you just settle, it's gonna bother you later. Okay, see that seems off. Looks off. Mm-hmm. So that looks more like what I want it to look like. Just as I said, just giving it a bit of some personality. But this side it's a bit lighter. Make it a bit dark. Mm-hmm. Like that. Then I think for now I'm gonna end the video here. And then please join me on the next time where we try to complete the whole video. If you have any questions, just pop them in the comments. Feel free to subscribe, like, and a comment. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.